Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter and Steven. Say what up, Steven.
What up, Steven?
We are coming at you this time. We got a nice dose of spoilers from the brand new Phyrexia All Will Be One. That is the new set that is coming out in February. Today being December 13th, we actually got spoilers. Kind of an introduction to the set itself, but nonetheless, it is still a really cool spoiler day. Got some really cool cards to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This first one, the big baddie on the art, the mother of all mothers. This is Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines is 4 and a white for a 4/7 legendary creature, Phyrexian Obliterator. It's got vigilance. It says if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. And permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities or permanents your opponents control to trigger.
She the mother of all mothers or the mother of machines?
I said Mother of All Mothers first, and then I said the card name.
Okay. Listen, man. Just want to clarify for the people.
Just gotta pay attention, bruh. Yeah, but this is an insane card.
Am I the only one that was disappointed?
Why?
Because it's just like a standard card. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you just see this all the time. Like, white, double ETB triggers, and then ETBs from opponents. Like, yes, it's like melding two cards into one. I get it. I don't know. I kind of wanted something a little cooler.
Hey, man, this is like a stacks card that does cool things for you.
I mean, I agree. I feel like you're gonna 100% build stacks. But I just like that's just so like you see the same cards over and over again when you build like a stack deck like that. I wanted something a little different so we can finally see maybe like a different style for Elesh Norn. That's all.
Hey, man, getting double the ETB triggers is really cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it'd be really cool. There's a ton of great cards. Double Solemns, double Knight of the White Orchids, double Felidar Retreats. Like it's nutty.
Yeah, dude. Think about having a blink effect to make it happen twice every turn.
I mean, or even Karmic Guy, dude.
Yeah, just any of those cards. Fantastic double triggers. But yeah, as far as standard goes, this is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be powerhouse.
I mean, yeah, man. I like, I'll take your word for it. Obviously, you are the resident standard mythic player. For all those at home that don't know, Hunter plays Arena online, and he made mythic. He got pretty high up there too.
Yeah, not too bad. Top 100.
I think didn't you tell us you played a game against CGB? How did that go?
That was rough. I don't want to talk about
Yeah, yeah, he lost pretty bad. We
it.
talk
Anyway,
about it. He doesn't.
no, it's fine. Moving on to this Elesh Norn card. Yeah, so like I said, it's gonna be a staple. This is gonna be an interesting commander. Obviously, we'll talk about that much later. They're not doing another preview season until a month from now, which will be January 12th.
It's awful, dude. Their
Yeah,
timeline for everything was just like so rough.
they pushed everything back because people were getting way too much product way too early, but they had this kind of like a date for suppliers. So this was kind of a supplier showcase.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like the weird Magic player that likes to be like the baby bird and wants to be fed.
You want to be fed all the time?
Feed me.
That's too much, man.
Nah.
Too much product. But let's move ahead. Let's go ahead and move on. Elesh Norn, Mother of the Machines of Machines. Incredible artwork too, real quick. I kind of want that as a playmat.
I mean, did you see any cards that had bad artwork on this set so far?
No, and we'll get to that. Speaking of getting to it, let's move on to Blue Sun's Twilight. Blue Sun's Twilight is X and 2 blue for a sorcery that says gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature.
I
Seems
love this card, dude.
seems pretty good.
Seems amazing.
Yeah,
Can we
because
also talk about how massive Jin looks in this photo?
he is huge. Jin Cataxius, no joke.
Yeah,
But
this when I saw this card on the stream today, I was just mind blown at how amazing it was.
And Blue Sun's Twilight, Blue Sun being the first card, what they announced was a cycle. We've seen Blue Sun's Zenith, Green Sun's Zenith. This is going to be the new cycle of Twilights, I assume.
I mean, I'm excited.
Me too, man.
I know we don't really get into EDH a lot when we do previews, but I literally just got done playing the Magus Lucia Kane deck a little while ago, and this is going to be amazing in that deck.
Yeah, this would be fantastic, man, in Magus. Any of those X spells, you can just double up, take 2 of your opponent's things, and get potential copies of them. Seems really
Yeah,
good.
fantastic, man.
And I love how it's not till end of turn either. You just own it.
Hmm. Forever and ever.
Moving on to a reprint. They decided to reprint Phyrexian Obliterator. Phyrexian Obliterator, if you didn't know, is 4 black mana for a 5/5 creature, Phyrexian Horror. It's got Trample. It says whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. This card is nuts coming into Standard.
I am so excited. I don't even play standard, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope to God I open this in a pack.
I was really hoping too because when I was doing the precon upgrades to the Captain and Gathrod decks, this was an include, and I said it cost a lot of money because at the time I made that deck, it was about $40. I know it's dropped down to about 35 now, but still a very much needed reprint. So pretty cool to see it in the standard.
I mean, it's just fantastic, man. Not only do you get trample on this thing, but it's a 4 mana 5/5. Granted, it's 4 black mana, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're probably playing this in mono black anyways. And then if they even decide to block, they got to sacrifice a whole bunch of stuff, dude.
Think about it, man. If they decide to block and you trample through it, that creature dies, they have to sacrifice however much they blocked. If they don't have any creatures or anything else on the board, they have to sacrifice their lands.
Oh, could you imagine if somebody like stupidly put on a blasphemous act?
Yeah, minus 13 damage. 13 damage, everything is 13 permanents. Bye bye.
Nuts, dude. I love this card. It's so fun to see.
It really is. Great, great
Is that
reprint. Let's move on to Slobad Iron Golem. Slobad Iron Golem is 2 and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature, Phyrexian Goblin Artificer. Has an ability where you can tap it, sacrifice an artifact, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Really interesting card.
it's going to be a lot of artifacts in the deck?
Of course, we're playing Phyrexia. There's going to be a ton. I don't know if this is a good card, though.
Why?
How often do you want to sacrifice your artifacts?
All the time.
Which ones are you sacrificing?
What do you mean? Like all the ones that cost 2 mana, and when they ETB, you draw a card, and when they die, you draw a card?
Like what?
So essentially, okay, Ichor Wellspring.
Okay, yes, Ichor Wellspring is a great example.
Yeah. I mean, there's
What else?
prize statue. When it enters the battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a treasure token.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You have some good examples now.
Yeah.
Build around it.
Now,
Add red
granted, in standard, it might be a little different,
in the standard, it might be a little different.
but
I don't think
I
that
love the fact that, with Slobad, you are creating red mana rather than just colorless mana. And I think that's the really amazing part about this card, if I'm being honest with you.
yeah. I love how they specifically wrote on the card equal to the sacrifice artifact mana value, so you can't just sacrifice power stones.
That's true. I think one of the ones that I would love to see sacrificed, and this is obviously going back to a more CEDH standpoint, but Spine of Isha.
Mm.
Just sack it, get 7 mana. Once it's put in your graveyard, you just return it to your hand. So I guess technically you just constantly kill stuff with Spine of Ishna.
Yeah, could do that. I just think Slobad is so bad.
Wow. I guess you're so wrong.
You never know. Could be. I mean, they like to show off cool new cards, but Slobad, he's now Phyrexian. Saw this guy back in Darksteel.
I mean, can we just talk about the glow up?
The glow up is real, man. He's buff. Buff guy.
Dude, he's massive.
Once he fought to save Mirrodin. Now he fights to remake it.
Okay.
Moving on to Jor Kadeen, first Goldwarden. Jor Kadeen, first Goldwarden is 1 red and 1 white, a 2/2 legendary creature human rebel. It's got trample. It says whenever Jor Kadeen, first Goldwarden, attacks, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then, if Jor Kadeen's power is 4 or greater, draw a card.
I mean, listen, man, they can't show off all these good cards and not show off a bad one.
I'd forgot that Rebel was an actual creature type.
Yep, they did say they were bringing it back.
Yeah, a lot of old cards that had Rebel. Mainly white, but
I don't know, man. I mean, like this card's fun and it seems cool, but at the same time, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. So you
Mhm.
constantly have to be spending mana to equip these creatures, and then you hopefully have a decent enough board presence and nobody's killing shit. Like it's just, I feel like there's so many hoops here, and I'm not a big fan of this card whatsoever.
This card's pretty good in something like Osgear, the Reconstructor.
Yep, yeah, I agree.
But
But what do
yeah,
we think about standard?
as far as standard goes, haven't really seen any equipment decks taken off unless this is the key that everyone needed. I don't see this seeing play, especially when Mono Black is getting new toys like Phyrexian Obliterator. Yeah, Jorkadine. Yeah,
Yeah, very. I haven't said it in a while, but meh.
meh. It's not that great of a card, man. I agree with you there. Just a bit of meh. Last time Jorkadine was seen was in New Phyrexia. Pretty cool. Glow down, essentially, right?
Hmm.
Got weaker.
Way weaker.
Moving on to the final card we're talking about today. This is the return of a planeswalker that was very familiar with a lot of people. This is Koth, Fire of Resistance. Koth, Fire of Resistance is 2 and 2 red for a starting loyalty of 4. It's got a +2 ability that says search your library for a basic mountain card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Has a -3 ability that says Koth, Fire of Resistance deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. And a -7, which is its ultimate, says you get an emblem with whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target.
Really similar to a card we've seen before,
Which is,
Liliana of the Dark Realms.
hmm, interesting comparison. You are absolutely correct. It is very similar to that card. Same mana value, just even starting loyalty is a liar.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you though. I think really when people saw this, people were kind of gravitating towards that ultimate ability.
Oh yeah, a mountain. Every time you play a mountain, it deals 4 damage. That sounds pretty good.
Yep. And then obviously you can also add cards like, Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. I faced against that the other day. That was awful.
Sounds pretty cool. They also announced that there's going to be, because as you see here, this Koth is a rare, not a mythic like most planeswalkers. There's going to be 10 planeswalkers in this set, 5 of which will be Phyrexian. Obviously, Koth is not one of, but 5 will be completed by the end of the story, also known as they will have a completed version of the card.
All right. Do you want to play a game? You want to take a guess? You got
Jace.
you pick your five, I pick my five.
I'm going Jace.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick one. Jace.
You're gonna pick one. All right. I'm gonna pick. I don't understand. They have to do Vraska, right? Like,
I don't know. Vraska is pretty popular, especially right now. I don't know if you do this, but there's a comic book out there right now, and Vraska is like one of the main people.
I mean, shit, dude. They got a Johnny. What's to stop them from taking Jace or Vraska?
That's why I'm saying Jace.
I
David
mean,
is a
dude,
big
I don't know,
proponent of
man.
saying no, but I say Jace.
Yeah, David is 100% saying there's no way they're doing Jace. But I kind of
It,
also want them to do the Wandering Emperor. I think that'd be really fun.
mm,
But I just feel like it's so new, right?
I was gonna say she's pretty new. I mean, the Wanderer is what she used to be. Wandering Emperor is the new um, card, but Wanderer was a long time ago in War of the Spark back in the day. So maybe she gets completed. Who knows?
Interesting. All right, well, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say Vraska.
He's going Vraska.
Can
David
I
thinks
can I have
Nissa.
a second guess? I want a second guess.
Go ahead.
All right, Vraska or Kaito?
Kaito, maybe. Shane also put his 2 cents in. He says Kaya. Kaya. He thinks Kaya.
I think Kai's a good guess.
Hmm.
And David said who?
David says Nissa.
Oh, I hope they don't do Nissa like that.
But who knows? We're gonna find out in maybe a month. Well, we are gonna find out in a month. Not maybe. But that's it. That's gonna do it for us. What is your favorite card of what they showed off today?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I know this is gonna sound really crazy, especially coming from me, but I'm gonna say Slobad.
You like Slobad, huh?
I really do, man. I think Slobad's gonna be really fun. I think that it'll be really fun in EDH. I don't really think it'll be that fun in standard, but I mean, it's actually. I think it's gonna be really strong.
Yeah. Speaking of strong, my favorite from this, believe it or not, is a reprint. It is going to be Phyrexian Obliterator. Don't know how they're going to not ban this card in standard. It's pretty crazy.
I mean, I'm sure it'll have its time in the sun.
Yeah, you never know. We will find out. It's going to be pretty powerful, but of course, Elesh Norn, that is the mother of machines. Beautiful artwork, beautiful card. Very excited. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? We got cool new content coming out all the time. Check the description down below for links to our Instagram, our Twitter, and our TikTok. That is at Guys at Magic on all of those to stay up to date with everything that we're doing on all of the other platforms. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Goodbye.